日が続く夢の終わりについたような気がした運命線をたどったらシアトル光の新宿結んでほどいて手のひらに何のコツ現状は連日に至るんでサンプルばっかちょうどいいのに更新ばっかから正直は日常が切な心よぎれた像はいつか消えてしまうほど割と記憶組み合わせて再生を体が世界に響くさあ
Well, guys, I think we are on his route, but I'm not totally sure, but I guess it is his route. But yeah, we will see.
やっぱりそうか。いずれはバレることだったろうし仕方ない。要は首輪のことがバレなければいいんだ。管轄も違うし、今のところは巡回ルートに入ってるとでも言ってごまかすしかないな。
とりあえず電波調べた限りじゃこの部屋が盗聴されてるようなことはね。そもそもあいつら機械音痴だから盗聴器をつけられるような心配ねえけどな。
それより窓の外に張り付いて盗み聞きしてる可能性の方が高いだろう。
That happened before, even on the 5th floor. What's the image of those two? This wasn't the time to be imagining such things. I had a reason for coming here. So, about today's incident, how much do all of you know about it?
笹塚が得た情報の範囲だが、
Summing up what I heard from Yanagi, we knew the crime occurred at the victim's residence. The murder weapon was a suppressed firearm, so the neighbors didn't notice the gunshots. The victim was currently unemployed. He was employed at a game development studio. I think his name was Satoru Tanaka. It matched everything I knew.
お前の方で他に得た情報はあるか？
According to statements from witnesses, the victim had moved in recently and seemed to have a nocturnal lifestyle. Also, he also seemed to be afraid of going outside.
当然だな。いつ自分が次のターゲットになるか気が気じゃなかったんだろう。
You're saying that he anticipated that he would be targeted?
コインも一致したし確定だ。どうせ容疑者はすぐ捕まるだろうけど、あとは俺が調べる。
True. Oh, Sasasuka ignored my question and continued his report.
被害者の田中悟は 8月の事件の発端になった例のネットゲームの開発者だ。
I turned to Yanagi in surprise. I now understood what Sasasuka was getting at. So that's why he knew he might be a target. He must have been in constant fear. In August, many players of a popular online video game had been murdered. If Tanaka was part of the development staff for that game, he had reason to be targeted.
ああ、だが問題はそこじゃない。今回の事件で重要視すべきなのは、これまでの XA 事件とは毛色が違うことだ。
What do you mean? You think it might be a copycat crime?
そこからかよ。
Sasasuka sounded disgusted with me, but I paid him no mind and looked at Yanagi.
これまでと同じように、現場にローマ数字やコインは残されていた。白石に確認したが、コインは例の特殊な作りのやつでな。模倣犯でないことは確実だ。
やっぱりわざとってことになるんすかね。くそ腹立つ。
そうだな。じゃなきゃ犯人側の行動に説明がつかない。
What do you mean on purpose? Once I confirmed that I still wasn't quite following along, Sasasuka pointedly signed very loudly.
操作しないと殺すって言われてんだから、足りない脳みそ使って本気で考えろよ。考えたところで使えないだろうけどな。
This man speaks so rudely. I felt the blood rush to my face.
ま、最低限の操作能力は知っときたいよな。お前はなんか不審に思う点とかなかったのか。
Suspicious. What was different about this crime? What was left at this? They left something different at the scenes?
何が違うんだよ。
I didn't know what forensic had found, so I couldn't give immediate answer. They said already that there was a Roman numeral and coin at the scenes. When I couldn't answer, Sasasuka punctured the silence.
タイムオーバー。根本的なところからわかんねえのか。警察に限定して動画が送られてきただろ。
Now that I thought about it, the X-Day crimes so far had used publicly viewable videos to highlight
Wouldn't gliding be faster?
scandals and the inadequacy of the law. True.
Wouldn't gliding be faster?
How you can spam this? What? He's such a troll.
Wouldn't gliding be faster?
Dude. Why is spamming your point? Why are you wasting your points, Silong? Speak German. Ah, okay. But I don't need to speak German now for 2 minutes, right? You just wanted to waste your points. That's fine. Ich muss. Oh my God, no. Aber aus irgendeinem Grund, dieses Video wurde nur zu der Polizei geschickt.
じゃあ次だ。なぜ警察に限定して送ったんだと思う？
Gut, dass die jetzt sprechen. Fuck. Say me what I should take, Silong. To provoke the police, they only wanted the cops to know. I don't think it's to provoke the police. I go with the second one. They only wanted the police to know.
ああ、そうだ。
Ah. I patted myself in relief after getting it right.
ま、あっちの糸に挑発が含まれてるのは間違いねえけどな。動画の配信を警察内部に限定したのは、警察がすぐには一般公開しないと踏んでたからだ。さらに警察内部でも情報漏洩を恐れて、一部の人間にしか知らせねえってな。
つまり犯人は動画を見ることができる人間を一部に絞りたかったってことだ。
But all the others were shown across the nation. Why would they limit it this time?
そこをお前が考えて答えるんじゃねえの？
Oh, yeah. They limited its release because... Why I have so many decisions now? That's so scary. I send it to... They wanted to derail the investigation, right?
そういうことっすよね、柳先輩。
これまでは全国に動画を公開していたが、多くの人間の目に触れる分、寄せられる情報も多かった。映っている人、場所、物、どんな些細な情報でも引っかかれば集まる。
ま、無駄な情報が多すぎても混乱するが、捜査側は情報が多いに越したことはない。
There was a specific reason why Adonis limited the release of the video, when they usually wanted general public to watch. Silong, I don't know yet. I think I'm on a route from a guy, but I'm not so sure. But I think it is a route from a guy, but it's... I actually didn't get one. I didn't get one from those three. I got the guy with the white hair, the SP officer. Basically, they were afraid that the police would catch on too quickly.
そう。まあここまで言えばさすがに新人のお前でもわかるか。
But they still made a statement, knowing it could be a liability.
で、狙ったかのようなタイミングでギリギリ犯人が逃げた直後に警察が現場に駆け込んだ。
そして X デイ事件は単独犯じゃない。アドニスという組織ぐるみで行われている計画的な犯罪だ。星野、ここまでの情報で犯人側アドニスの意図をどう推察する？
No, is this a decision again? The reliability sent the video to the police. They had chosen a window that ran the risk of culprit being apprehended. The first thing I could conclude was no, it's not cheating if I get it wrong. I mean, if you get something wrong in real life, you can't just reload, you know? That's true, but still. Maybe they're worried about police attention.
まあ、その可能性もゼロとは言い切れないが。
だったら最初から予告なんかしなければいいってことにならね。
That's true.
めんどくせえな。つまり計画性の浅い犯行だったんだよ。
Alright, that's why previous X-Day crimes were elaborately designed murders. No unnecessary evidence was left at the scenes. Suspects with apparent motive had unnaturally clean alibis. The crime scenes had nondescript video evidence, but this time that was all different. Whether or not they had done it for the thrill, they'd been far too laxity in their crime. If they were slower, they might have been caught, but they still made a video, which means
ああ、何が考えられる？
they had prepared for that outcome. Even if they were caught, it wouldn't hurt Adonis. Rather, it might play right into their hands. Is that right?
ここまでたどり着くのにどんだけ時間かけんだよ。
ま、最初だしな。捜査経験ねえのにすぐ分かっちまったら逆にビビるし。
ここに来てあえて計画性の浅い犯行を起こした理由はまだ推測の域だが、駒を切り捨てにかかった可能性は高いな。
ま、今日の事件の容疑者はもうほぼ絞られてるはずだ。
ああ、おそらく近日中に捕まるな。
The conversation had moved past me again, and I thought hurriedly.
これだけヒントを与えても目的達成は揺るがないって自信があんだろう。だよな、首輪の向こうで聞いてるサイコ野郎。
I imagined a prick of pain to come from the collar in response to Sasazuka's Up received challenged, but the color didn't respond or inject anything into my body.
何にせよアドニスのやり方が変わってきているのは事実だ。指揮系統が入れ替わったか内部分裂か、これも計画の内か、慎重に見極める必要があるな。
それが付け入る隙になるかもしれないっすからね。
As Enomoto nodded spiritedly, Yanagi muttered something.
白石が言うにはだいぶ前から変だって話だが。
っていうかこれ毎回やるのかよ。バカ猫への説明か。今節丁寧に説明してやったところで時間の無駄としか思えないんだ。
Wow. Sasuke's words struck a nerve. It was true. I couldn't keep up with that discussion, and I was aware of my own limits. But you don't have to go and put it like that.
もともと8月は笹塚の担当だ。あとはお前に任せる。
了解。
Yanagi changed the subject without commenting on Sasuke's remarks. I guess I should take his silence to mean that he agrees. It wasn't just Sasuke. Yanagi and Enomoto also thought poorly of my detective skills. But if I could give them any details on what went on in the station, that was enough. That was the only reason I was here. It was a painful realization.
で、お前はどうするんだ？どの事件を追うか決まったのか？
I looked up and blinked in confusion at the sudden question. It calmed me somewhat. I mentally reviewed everything I knew about the X-Day incident. Sasuke is right. This team had been pursuing the cases for a long time, so it was clear I was wasting their time by getting involved without knowing anything. The Roman Nummel left at the crime scenes today was 1. The last number would be 0. There wasn't even a month left until X-Day. What can I do during that brief time? My duty and the situation I've been forced into. Oh, actually it makes sense. Because some criminal people catched my character, so the MC, and gave her the collar. And this collar is watching over all stuff. And is connected to the X-Day. Hello Ren, how are you? When I factored them both in, it was obvious. Compared to the rest of you, I don't have any outstanding talents, or do I have much experience with detective work. But I want to help out in any way that I possibly can.
お前にできること？なんかあんの？
I can listen to what people are talking about. When I stated it clearly, the three of them were clearly caught off guard. Yesterday, when I looked through the X-Day files, what jumped out to me was a person that was neither the victim or the assailant. I'm a bit confused because I had the same encoder problem with OBS Studios today and I have no idea what it means, but other than I'm fine. What problems did you have? Oh, my day is fine. I think I'm, by the way, on the route from Okazaki. I'm not so sure, but I think I am. The victim in this incident was a woman who was once the victim of an obsessive stalker.
7月の事件のことか。
Yes, for a time she was suspected to be involved in the murder of the stalker. She also suffered several backlash from the public. People were alleging that she might have been stalked through some fault of her own. Her background was thoroughly checked, but no connections were found to either the terrorists or the man who killed the stalker. After that, her description was exceeded from official documents. Whether or not she was connected to the incident, it had taken a heavy toll on her reputation. The police bear some responsibility for failing to stop the stalking in the first place. OBS suddenly interrupted my stream out of nowhere. I went to check the log and it said error encoding with encode. I think I never saw this actually. I wondered if I could meet her and ask her about what really happened. Besides, nobody else is working on this case. I wouldn't waste the team's time, and I was sure my position would help me find some information. That was another reason I wanted to take this one. The assailant was arrested at the scene of the crime and is currently still in detention. He hadn't tried to commit suicide like the detained September suspected, and I was still being held in a detention center. Whether you know, I think I got Okazaki's route. I mean, I didn't want to get his route, but I think I'm on his route. And Saiki was actually, I saw him the stream in the evening and he was totally drunk, but yeah. Whether it was actually self-defense is unknown. I want to learn the truth of this incident. After my lengthy proposal, the other three seemed to be slightly impressed.
確かに7月はその女性を中心とした事件であることは間違いない。一見するとストーカーをこじらせた人物が女性に危害を加えようとして返り討ちにあった、それだけの事件にも見える。
殺されたストーカー男の部屋から X デー事件を象徴するコインが発見されてる。模倣犯じゃないのは確実だ。
つまりだな、これまで同様に計画性のある X デー事件だってこと。どうだ、わかったか？
Yes.
何偉そうに言ってんだ、単細胞バカが。
うるせえな。新人教育っつったら俺の出番だろうが。
ま、バカとバカがくっついてくれた方が俺は助かる。
口やかましいワカメだなったく。つっても7月の事件の情報については俺たちもあんまり把握できてないんだよな。加害者が勾留中だからか、警察内部の動きもやたら鈍いみたいでさ。
Has Shirashi given you anything?
あいつは今9月の事件に夢中で他の事件に興味を示さない。
I see.
お前が内部から情報を集めてくれるなら助かる。
Okay. With that, the meeting ended. It was late, so Yanagi decided he walked me home. Oh, Yanagi walks me home actually. Interesting. While we walked down the stairs, Yanagi looked back at me with a concerned look.
榎本も言っていたが、7月の事件は俺たちの方でもあまり深く調べてなくてな。
There's a suspect in custody after all.
渡せる情報は少ないが、何かあったら連絡してくれ。首輪のこともある。無茶はするなよ。
Thank you. I was happy for his concern, but it didn't really resonate with me for some reason. A part of me has been relying on Yanagi's team. Not in a tangible way, but I'd been tagging along. But that didn't sit right with me.
ところで星野、岡崎圭とやけに親しいみたいだったが。
Oh, no, I just happened to run into him a few times. We're not particular close terms.
とぼけた顔して強引だからな。気づけば懐に入られやすいが。
That sounds so weird. He start to grow on you.
岡崎には気をつけろ。隙を見せない方がいい。
Who? What do you?
俺が何？
True. He's already there. Yeah, I know, Zilong, I know, but still. We turned around to face the voice. Okazaki was standing there, smiling. I failed to notice him again.
お前、いつの間に。
さっきからずっとここに立ってたんだけどな。
Yanagi also seemed shocked that he failed to notice Okazaki. I definitely can't get careless around him.
いちかちゃんもう帰るの？だったら俺が送ってくよ。
He just destroyed Yanagi because Yanagi wanted to walk me home. Lol.
いや、星野は俺が送っていく。
Oh, okay, okay.
でも柳さんは彼女の家を知らないよね。
お前は知ってるのか？
Oh my god. No, well, he did walk me home one time because it was late.
じゃあ行こうか。
勝手に決めるな。本人に案内してもらえば済む話だ。
でも知ってる人と一緒に帰った方が案内しなくていいから楽だよね。
Right now, I was walking down the street between Yanagi and Okazaki. In the end, they couldn't decide which of them would walk me home. Awkward, yeah. No matter how much I refused, I was beginning to realize that Okazaki was going to follow me wherever I went.
あのさ、前から思ってたんだけど。
Okazaki addressed Yanagi from my other side.
柳さんは俺のことが嫌いだよね。
嫌いとかじゃなくてだな。
I understood what Yanagi wanted to say. He's doing this because he's worried about the collar. I would be in danger if the collar was exposed. Also, Yanagi didn't seem to accept the reason that Okazaki had provided for why he was protecting the team. It's not that he dislikes him, but he probably just can't trust him.
お前が俺たちを監視しているのは知ってる。関わり合いになりたくないのは当然だろう。
ああ、もしかして俺が君たちのこと全部警察に報告するって思ってるの？
そう思うのが普通だ。
まあとりあえず俺の任務のことは置いておくとして。
そこは置いといちゃダメじゃないか。
とにかくね、俺は純粋に君たちのことを知りたいんだ。
なんでだ？
人として興味があるからかな。
While Yanagi and I were at a loss for an answer, Okazaki changed the subject.
さっき7月の事件がどうのって言ってたけど、もしかして再捜査してるの？
I involuntarily stiffened up. Just how long had he been eavesdropping on the conversation? Oh, no, it was just something I'd taken personal interest in, so I was asking Yanagi about it. Okazaki smiled softly as I fumbled around for an excuse.
そんなに慌てないで。君の仕事に口出すつもりはないよ。何か事情があるんでしょ？同じ警察官だからって話せないことはあるし。そんなに警戒しなくても大丈夫。興味本位で聞いてみただけだから。
Yanagi was very obviously having a hard time swallowing Okazaki's supposed flighty bouts of curiosity. His face said that he was confused because he didn't know what Okazaki was thinking.
7月の事件か。でもあれって正当防衛だって言われてるよね。加害者はすでに捕まってて、ストーカー被害に遭った女性を守るためにやったことだって自白してる。あとは過剰防衛かどうかだけど、守るためにやったことなのに罪に問われるのは少しかわいそうだな。
かわいそう。正当防衛だからといって殺人は殺人だ。許されるものじゃない。
Yanagi's tone was unusually forceful. His expression grew stern.
それに加害者の男はもともと5月の事件で容疑者候補に上がっていた。X デイ事件の一つと考えれば誰が見ても怪しいのは事実だ。
あくまで容疑者候補だし、5月の事件では確かなアリバイもあったよね。それに彼がストーカーに襲われてた女性を守ったのも事実でしょ。
Oh my god, I have the feeling that. Well, let's see.
守るために必要な犠牲もあるよ。
だからって殺されていいわけじゃない。人の命を奪うのに正当な理由なんて一つもない。
They continued their debate across me. Neither looked like they would back down. Yeah, Ren, I don't know, I have a not good feeling about this. They seem to be incompatible. The way they think is completely opposite. Both of them had valuable perspectives about the Julie case. I reflected on that digression. I see Yanagi and Okazaki off and headed back to my apartment. Near my house, I saw a silhouette. Oh, Katsuki. He's back early today. I felt relief as I went to talk to him.
それじゃあ、明日スタジオで。楽しみにしてる。
Ooh, who are you, boy? Can I date you? I noticed that Kazuki was talking with someone. You just come back to the right moment, Zilong, right? He dresses loudly. Is that Kazuki's friend? But I recognized him from some. While I was thinking about that, both of them head off. What should I do? I missed my chance. Kazuki stays out often recently, and he also goes out late at night too. If he's hanging out with the wrong people, he didn't look like a emo, did he? What do you think, Ren? Did he look like a emo? I follow the other guy now because I'm curious. Or maybe no. I should follow my brother, right? Who should I follow, man? Follow Kazuki, follow the other guy. If it feels like the timing is right, I should try and ask him. He looked like a pink Ellen. What the fuck? No. He tell me to not get involved or that it didn't concern me and try to change the subject. I signed at the predictable outcome while I followed Kazuki inside.
ゼロ。今日執行者が起こしたという事件、私は何も聞いていないのですが。
Oh, it's Kaya again from Genshin. that is speaking. Interesting.
12月のカウントダウンは一つだったはずです。それなのになぜ増やす？どういう意味ですか？
Kaya Poggers.
あなたの命令なら執行者は動きます。それだけは私もコントロールできません。分かっていてやっているのでしょう。彼女？はあ、星野一花。首輪の実験体ですね。彼女が7月を気にしていたんですか？やけに彼女のことを気にするんですね。いえ、何でもありません。ゼロ。長年の悲願が果たされる日は目前です。雑事に惑わされずことを進めてください。たとえ私たちが選ぶ道をたがえても、昔誓ったあの約束だけは。
The next day I was listening to the news on TV by making breakfast for Kazuki.
7月に起きた X デー事件の一つと言われるストーカー男性傷害致死事件の裁判は依然として難航しており、
Was it justified self-defense or not? That point was still unterminated. No progress. I turned off the gas stove and transferred the omelette to a plate. Kazuki, breakfast is ready. You should eat before it gets cold. I waited for a while, but no answer came. With a sigh, I returned to the living room to get ready to go to work. When I get to the station, the first thing I should do is read more about the Yuri incident in the database. I want to speak to detectives who were on the case at the time, but they might get suspicious if I approach them without legitimate reason. Omelette, ah yes, Enid's favorite food, true. If I rightly remember, he teaches Cyrus how to make an omelette. Still, it's best to ask someone who was there. I walked, thinking about my next steps. I wasn't paying attention as I walked and bumped into someone.
いってえな。気をつけろ。
I'm sorry. Yeah.
あれあれ、結構かわいいじゃん。
Oh my god.
よかったら俺たちと遊びに行かない？
I'll pass. I'm on the way to work.
そんなのサボっちゃえばよくない？
I just walked into a lot of trouble. It might be quicker to show I'm a police officer, but if they had some animosity towards the police, it would invite even further trouble. I'm in a hurry. When I just tried to push past the two insistent men, one of them grabbed my arm.
ぶつかっておいてさ、その態度はないんじゃないの？
He raised his voice. Then the man let go of my arm with a genuine web on pain, unlike earlier.
女の子への暴力って好きじゃないな。
Okazaki had suddenly appeared from behind, twisting the man's arm. He casually sent the man flying away with one hand.
こいつ
Okazaki dodged the punch from the side with ease and sent the second man hurtling into a wall with a kick.
てめえ
He effortlessly threw the third man, who rushed at him from behind. His movements were so fluid, I thought I was watching a dance performance.
ダメだよ。女の子を困らせたら。
Okazaki gently scolded them without showing any sign of needing to catch his breath. The men scrambled away, each trying to outspace the other. They just scared.
いちかちゃん、大丈夫だった？
Okazaki turned to me with a look of genuine concern. Thank you very much. You saved me.
うん。君に怪我がなくてよかった。
But what are you doing here? It seems I mischaracterized him. Rather than appearing and disappearing like a ghost, it was more like he was always around. Don't tell me he's like this with everyone.
これから仕事？
Yes.
実は俺も新宿署に用があったんだ。
Oh, what a coincidence. It seemed that I had been overly self-conscious.
ねえ、どうせだったら一緒に行こう。
Man, I think this guy is just everywhere, right? What the fuck? Saying that, he turned to me and offered me his hand for some reason. Why the hand? I just stared at it for a moment. Then Yanagi just grabbed my hand. What?
君は危なっかしいからね。手をつないで歩こう。
No, thank you. It's not any safer this way. In response to me saying that, he simply grabbed my hand even more tightly and began tugging me as he walked.
君の手、少し冷たいね。
Okazaki. He was acting like this was nothing, but he was unwilling to let go of my hand.
もう12月だもんな。俺は寒いの平気なんだけど、吉成くんは辛いって言ってた。
I was sure that I was signaling my displeasure, but Okazaki ignored it and kept talking. he really was stubborn. Isn't it a little hard to be a bodyguard while you're holding hands?
これは警護のためじゃないよ。ただ俺がつなぎたいだけ。
I see. When he said it that assertively, I found myself stupidly unwilling to resist for some reason. This will be embarrassing if someone sees this.
あんまりぼんやり歩いてたらダメだよ。人にぶつかったら危ないし、さっきみたいな人にまた絡まれちゃう。
Oh, you mean the voice actor that is speaking this guy? Yeah, I think it's Kaji Yuki actually. What? Wait, this guy is also speaking Luke in Tears of Themis? Okay. I mean, I don't like Luke, but I think I like Okazaki. Ah. Yeah, he's also speaking Kanato Sakamaki in Diabolic Lovers, yeah. Cool. If he had seen me walking while I was spaced out. So, he was tailing me after all. I under surveillance. Okazaki smiled in a comforting way. Maybe my doubts had shown on my face.
別に後をつけたりしてないよ。たまたま見つけただけだから安心して。
Well, when I hear him, I remember that I was reading Luke's card, so yeah, it's his voice actually, but I think the voice fits better to Okazaki actually. I don't know why. But good that you told us, Anna. I'm sorry.
いいよ。でも本当は許されるんだったら四六時中後をつけて守ってあげたいぐらい。
24/7. No, I didn't know this actually. That's scary, 24/7. What?
君ってしっかりして見えるけど、意外と隙があるから心配なんだ。
I appreciate the thought, but I must decline your offer. Knowing Okazaki, if I accepted, he seriously follow me around 24 hours a day.
じゃあ今のところはやめておくね。でもさっきみたいなことがまたあったら本気で警護を考えちゃうかも。
Okay, I'll be careful. I try not to show you any openings next time.
それはそれで少し残念だな。
Okazaki smiled gently as always. I couldn't tell if he was joking or not. Somehow, I seemed to allow him to do whatever he wants and let him dictate everything. We'd only met a few days ago, but it felt like every time we met, he was leading me around. He always approached me without hesitation. I'd fail to refuse, and then this would happen.
岡崎には気をつけろ。隙を見せない方がいい。
I recalled what Yanagi said. I know that I have to be cautious, but his palm was warm. So were some of his smiles and words. I didn't think they were coming from ill will.
いちかちゃん、どうかした？
Oh, what the fuck, Ren? Chill. All fine. While I was mulling it over, I started as he examined my... I was so startled that I suddenly gripped his hand tightly. When I did, he returned the grip, smiling all the while. Suddenly, I just felt even worse. Your hand. Guys, which one I should take here? Isn't second one like jealous? I go with the second one then. I wonder if he's used to this. Do you do this to other people? I regretted saying that. That was rude of me. But Okazaki didn't seem offended and he just smiled calmly.
しないよ。こんなこと誰にでもしたら怒られちゃう。
So he only doesn't care about getting me mad? For some reason, I found myself unable to say that aloud.
こういうことするのは仲良くなりたい人だけだから。
For a second, my heart skipped a beat, but then I remembered something. He also said that he wanted to be closer with Yanagi and the others. So this wasn't something special that he was doing for me. Once I realized that, I was shocked. I also felt some unkind feelings bubbling up. So, you do this with Yanagi and the other people at the office? What? What the fuck, MC? I just mean to tease him, but Okazaki seemed to think about it seriously. Okay.
あの中で手をつないでないと危なそうで心配なのはタケルくんぐらいかな。
Oh, really? I didn't think he'd be the type to need that.
タケルくんは頭脳派でしょ？いざという時は一番弱いと思うよ。
That might indeed be true, but he'd probably be mad if I ever asked.
でも勝手に手を引っ張ったらすごく怒られそうだからやらないかな。
I didn't get Artem's birthday limited card yet. Did you get it? Yeah. A wise decision. I agreed when I imagined Sasuka's face. While I walked with Okazaki, I occasionally glanced at our hands. My embarrassment slowly eroded as I normalized this behavior, and it was replaced with relief. So he really was just worried about me. Obviously, I had been a little scared when those men surrounded me. As a cop, it felt kind of lame, but I wasn't sure I could skillfully exit the situation. Now, so I felt calm. It's thanks to Okazaki. Hana, I don't know if I will get the card actually. It's still some days to get it, but yeah, I will see. Maybe he had noticed how I was feeling and reached out to me to help, while I acting like it was for his own satisfaction. Maybe I've wronged him. Regardless of Okazaki's true intentions, it was true that he had protected me. Still, it wouldn't be a stretch to say that I was betraying the police. Was I still someone worth protecting? Maybe I've taken advantage of his kindness. Perhaps I had used his stubbornness as an excuse and ultimately failed to reject his advances because deep down a part of me wanted to trust him. When I was with him, I could relax just a little and not think about my collar, the X-Day crimes, and my precarious situation. I'm really not cautious enough, am I? I'm fine now. We were inside of the police station now, so I broke free from his hand. If my colleagues saw me now, I had no idea how they would react. A breeze wiped through my warmed hand, and the cool sensation now made me feel a ting of loneliness.
ちょっと残念だけど、誰かに見られたら困っちゃうもんね。
Maybe he really was concerned for me. He was worried about appearance, so I guess he hadn't done it out of selfishness. It was hard to tell what this man was thinking, but I sensed his actions stemmed from goodwill.
ごめんね、無理やり引っ張ってきちゃって。
No, you were just worried. Thank you for holding my hand.
言ったでしょ、俺がつなぎたかっただけ。
Okazaki kindly smiled, still pretending to be obstinate. I returned his words with a slight smile and started to cross the street when it was green. Then holy shit, guys. The sounds just scared me. They just was like... The music was gone and then just those sounds came. Suddenly a commotion broke out around us. Seeing Okazaki reach for his holster, I also reached myself. I looked over and saw smoke. A fire?
ジ？やばくない？すぐ近くじゃん。ねえ、ちょっと携帯見て。また動画サイトで変なの流れてる。やだ、なんか燃えてる。これも X デイのやつなの？
いちかちゃん。
Right. I quickly started to take out my phone, but I could hear a voice already playing on the bystanders' phones.
X で再生の日まであと23日。
That was
カウントダウン。また X デー事件が起きたのかもしれない。
I heard the search for the video on my phone. Oh, it's when you roast someone. No, wait, not roast. No, it's actually positive mental attitude, meaning with that, and it means that I shouldn't swear at all. Like, yeah, for a time. I think I did dislike it, but man, sometimes I just need to check it out again. It showed a fire burning at a familiar looking part. I mean, not at Otome games. It makes sense if I play like a game where I need to focus and I get fast frustrated. Like if I would play Genshin Abyss, or I would play like boss fights with randoms in Genshin or something like this, then it would make sense. I call it in.
星野か、今 X デー事件の動画が。
Yes, I'm close to the place in the video now. Fire in the residential area near Shinjuku PD. I'm en route to the sense.
わかった。捜査本部に通達する。俺もすぐに向かうからな。気をつけろよ。
Yes, sir.
俺も行くよ。
Okazaki nodded firmly and we set off. The fire had broken out in a park within the residential area. It had just started burning, so firefighters and police hadn't arrived yet. Instead, neighbors and bystanders were gathering around the park to watch. Police, it's dangerous, everyone, please stay back. Okazaki and I raised our voices as we pushed our way through the crowd to the source of fire. What looked like a human figure had been left in front of the restrooms.
待って。
As soon as I tried to run over to the figure, Okazaki quickly pulled me back.
近づくと危ない。
But somebody's in there.
火の勢いが普通じゃない。匂いからして周囲にガソリンが撒かれてる。それもかなり広範囲に。密閉空間じゃないから爆発の恐れはないけど、火元の周りに紙束みたいな燃えかすが大量に散らばってるのは見えるよね。トイレ内にまだ何かが、それこそ爆発物が仕掛けられてる可能性もある。火の中心にいる人物が全く動かないのは、もう息絶えてるか一酸化中毒で意識不明のどちらか。どう見ても助からない。
Okazaki was incredibly calm, and he coolly analyzed the situation. He was probably right too, but what if it's possible that we can still save them? I frantically looked around for a fire extinguisher, but I couldn't see anything of the like. Pouring water on a gasoline fire was a bad idea, but maybe I could smoother the fire. I mean, not yet ran, right? Could be that it will still come. That there's something between, we don't know. As I hesitated, the fire spread to a nearby tree and grew fiercer. We have to do something, we have to help. In my confusion, I tried to approach the fire again, but Okazaki's grip only grew stronger. Let me go.
今君にできることは何もない。
So is there something you can do? Okazaki, I'm sure you could save.
俺にもあの人を助けることはできない。他にしなくちゃいけないことがあるから。
What other priorities? What could possibly be more important than saving that person?
いちかちゃん、冷静になって。
This might have been the first time I'd ever heard Okazaki sound angry. I stiffened in surprise.
落ち着いて。ここには他にもたくさんの人たちがいる。彼らの安全を優先させるのが俺たちの仕事だよ。今君がしなくちゃいけないことがある。君にしかできないことがあるんだよ。
I guess the second one, right? Because I really don't know if we can save the victim. Could be that the victim is actually dead already. What do you think, Ren? Or Hannah, if you're still there? Second, right? Yeah. This is what I can do now. After Okazaki helped me regain my composure, I assessed the situation around me. I realized I wouldn't be able to put out the fire by myself. The priority now was to evacuate the local residents to prevent secondary casualties. It hurt to turn away from what might be a dying person, but I couldn't lose sight of my duty. I lead the evacuation.
大丈夫。俺もついてるから。
Wait, that's the first thing that I see trussed up by this guy. I never saw this before. I don't know if that's bad or good. Good. My hands were still trembling, so Okazaki held them both tightly.
君はちゃんと状況が見えてる。今は俺たちにできることをしよう。ね。
Yes. We each took a part of the crowd and led them out of the park.
火のそばには近づかないでください。ここは危険です。早く避難を。
Get out of the park, everyone. Stay calm so that you don't trip. Then, some of the cinders in the air landed near my feet. They looked like the papers around the victim, but I noticed they were fragments of a written note. The note was apparently written with very shaky handwriting. I love you so much. I want to kill you. The scrap quickly burned to ashes. I hope this paper means not the MC. X-Day Incident Report. Report of the X-Day incidents. July 1st. A man who had been obsessively stalking a woman was killed by a passerby. The assailant was arrested at the scene, but circumstantially evidence and witness accounts suggested it was a justified act of self-defense. However, the assailant was arrested as a suspect for the May X-Day crime and it is awaiting trial. He is currently being held in jail. After the incident, the Roman numeral 5 and an Adonis coin were found at the victim's residence. For this reason, the assailant and the woman being stalked were suspected of having Adonis ties, but no evidence has been found to support this. In early August, Adonis uploaded a statement which claimed this incident as part of the countdown.
正当防衛なのに一時でも身柄を拘束される理不尽だと思いませんか彼は一人の女性を救ったヒーローだというのに
Yeah, well, they're fucking scary, man. They're so scary when I'm not even kidding. I was just watching behind me and was checking if my dog is still in my room to protect me if something happens.
女性は昔からストーカー被害を訴えていたにもかかわらず警察は取り合わなかった。我々アドニスはこの悲しみを見過ごせず被害者に代わり裁きを下しました。
Some of these voices are funny, but this one as example, holy shit, it's scary.
X デーのカウントダウン6そして今月はカウントダウン5近々再び裁きが下ります。
This incident would be well known to the public. They would know the tweet was amongst themselves. The plan proceeded to the next stage. People would focus on the threat and realize that the everyday malice in this world is real. It was a threat to their own lives. It was believed the occasional tumult within our organization would pose no obstacle to the plan. The countdown to the revival would march on relentlessly. Sounds like a poltergeist ghost. Yeah, exactly. The afternoon after the park fire, I was at my desk answering non-stop phone calls. There were many Shinjuku residents who felt unsafe because of the repeated incidents, and the volume of calls had increased. I'm very sorry. That matter is currently under investigation. That said, little of the information coming into SRCPO was of any use, and most of it was not directly related to the incident. People reported seeing ghosts at the sense or thought the fire affected their phone reception. Yeah, I hear the ghost already too. There's no helping it, considering the atmosphere these crimes have created. This morning, firefighters had shown up promptly to extinguish the blaze. The only damage was the trees near the fire center, and there were no injuries. The victim at the heart of the fire had died, however. From what Moshida had overheard so far, the one-sense investigation had ruled out suicide. It was most likely a homicide. Whew. When the incoming calls finally slowed down, I signed and rubbed my eyes. I had gone around collecting statements and reassuring the neighbors, so it was afternoon by the time I returned to the station. So, it was an X-Day crime after all. The gruesome sense from this morning replayed itself in my head. I had watched someone burn to death, and there was nothing I could do about it. I was struck by the cruelty that could rob someone of their life so easily. There was an announcement video too. If they also find a coin, how could they do that 2 days in a row? If Okazaki hadn't been there, I would have really been entirely useless at the sense. It had all been a shock to me, and I still hadn't really recovered my composure. There was a commotion in the building. I immediately spotted the reason. Section Chief Morioka and Commissioner Minigishi from Investigation Section 1 were boss here. Hey, Ren! I think... You know what I think? Don't tell it, Okazaki, but I think... The guy on the right... He looks hot too. This police station was the headquarters for the X-Day investigations, so there were people from police headquarters posted here. However, SRCPO personnel didn't generally interact with investigators unless they were invited to a meeting. So the office would be stirred up by the arrival of such highly ranked officers. What in the world is going on?
星野一花はいるか?
Oh, well, I could believe my ears. He came in here and asked for me by name.
星野が何かしましたか?
While I was panicking, Moshida quickly positioned himself behind my desk. I quickly stood up and straightened my posture, confused. Yes, sir. I'm Ishika Hoshino of the Special Regions Crime Prevention Office.
お前は今朝の事件発生当時、現場の近くにいたそうだな。
Yes, sir.
その時のことを詳しく聞きたいのですが、今お時間大丈夫ですか?
Oh.
私は星野の指導担当の持田正信です。よろしければ私も同席させていただけますか?
Moshida came to rescue as I was tongue-tied with anxiety. However, Morioka shook his head no after a moment's consideration.
まずはこいつ一人に話を聞きたい。場所を移すからついてこい。
Yes, sir. My throat had dried out, and that was the only response I could manage. They brought me to the X-Day Investigations headquarters. Everyone else seemed to be out. It was empty. The room felt very big to me when I entered, and I grew increasingly nervous, wringing my hands tightly. Sometimes, yeah.
で、今朝の事件についてだが、なぜあの場所にいた?
Who? I thought they were going to ask me about the fire itself, so I was caught off guard by the unexpected line of questioning. I just happened to be on the way to work.
SP と共に行動していたと聞いたが。
Oh, that's actually true, man. If voice could kill when I play a competitive game, I kill. I run into him on the way. Okazaki, the SP officer, said that he also had business at Shinjuku Station today.
国防のお前がどういう経緯で警護課の人間と知り合ったんだ?
Whose circumstances? I just know him.
その知り合いとは?
I began to doubt myself under the rapid-fire barrage of questions. Yeah. Perhaps noticing that I had gone pale, Minigishi interrupted with a troubled expression.
森岡さん、質問ばかりではかわいそうですよ。ちゃんと説明してあげなければ。今朝の事件、現場トイレの壁にペンキで書かれたローマ数字の1が残されていたこと。残されていたコインの鑑定結果から X デー事件であることが確定しました。
The autopsy had found the victim's cause of death to be carbon monoxide poisoning. When I had found the body, the victim had already perished.
これらの点から今回の件に彼女が直接関わっているとは考えにくい。ですからそう頭ごなしに疑ってかかるのはよくありませんよ。彼女も怯えているじゃないですか。
They do suspect me after all? Then
別に犯人だと疑っているわけじゃない。ただ嫌な感が働いただけだ。
With that, Morioka leaned forward, as if searching for something in my eyes.
X デイ事件について何か知っているんじゃないか。それも
Feeling the cold collar against my skin, I instinctively went silent. When I did, Morioka sighed deeply and quietly continued.
柳愛二を知っているな。あいつは俺の元部下だ。お前が柳たちと交流を持っていることは把握している。
Did he tell you?
いや、違う。あいつはそういうことを簡単に漏らす人間じゃない。
Morioka bluntly remarked on his old coworker.
あいつらに関する情報は入ってくる。あっちが望まなくてもな。
What does that mean?
柳とはどうやって知り合った？
I met him on patrol. I had him show me IDs just to be certain. I was curious, so I looked him up in the database and saw that he was a former officer. After talking for a bit, I learned that he was independently investigating the X-Day incidents. No, I was saying it from the game. Oh. I'm just keeping an eye out as Air is CPO, so that they don't get hurt. They're civilians now. I had no idea how well they'd fall for my bald-faced lie. To begin with, someone they knew to be as cautious as Yanagi wouldn't tell someone he'd only met a few times that he was investigating X-Day. Morioka just stared into my eyes for a while, expressionless. I didn't know what he was thinking.
事件の捜査はお前の任務に含まれていない。それは理解しているか？
Morioka didn't pursue the subject of Yanagi and changed the topic. Yes, I thought it was necessary for the safety of the public that I be informed. Morioka and Minigishi shared a look after my plainly stated reply.
意外と芯が強そうだな。まあ、柳たちのことはいい。今は見過ごしている。
では、本題に移りましょう。
Oh, that wasn't even the main topic. I shifted my chair, bracing myself for the big issue.
7日に起きた X デー事件は予告動画が新宿署のみに送られてきました。我々は場所の特定が早まることを恐れ 動画の公開範囲を絞ったのだと考えました。
They appeared to have arrived at the same conclusion as Yanagi's team.
ですが今朝の事件は動画をネット上で公開するのとほぼ同時に白昼堂々の犯行です。聞き込みの結果、現場近くで不審な女性を見たという証言もあるのですが、まだ裏は取れていません。
Two crimes had occurred in 2 days, but it looked like the investigation wasn't going as desired.
カウントダウンがゼロになるのを目前にして奴らの動きが荒くなっているのは確かだな。
アドニスは複数人で構成されたテロ組織です。これまでの事件の犯行も複数人によるものと断定されています。おそらくですが、組織の上の人間が駒を切り捨て始めたのではないか。
ああ、下っ端の人間なら捕まっても構わない。むしろ捕まえてみろと言わんばかりのやり方だ。実行犯が捕まったところで警察がアドニスの中心にたどり着けないという自信があるんだろう。
Maybe the group was confident that their peons wouldn't betray the organization. Or perhaps the low-level criminals didn't know anything about Adonis to begin with. I wondered which was the case.
今朝の現場で何か気になったことは？
It's all in my report.
重複してもいいから聞かせろ。
Understood. Gasoline had already been poured all over the sands when I had arrived, and I couldn't approach the source of fire. Bundles of paper were also scattered around the victim, and I found a burning scrap of a very strange note. I told them all this as politely as possible.
その紙片の内容から考えると、やはり菅原理香が怪しいですね。
Rika Sugawara? That was the name of the woman who had been stalked in the Julie incident. Why would her name come up now?
稲岸、余計なことは言うな。
この程度の情報、警察内部にいればいずれは誰でも得られるものですよ。
Minigishi calmly continued.
焼死体のため被害者の身元確認には時間がかかっています。ただ我々は容疑者および被害者ともに7月の事件に関連性があると見ています。
Why?
予告動画の内容からですよ。
Speaking of which, I hadn't watched the video yet. I had run straight to the sense of the crime and was busy filling a report ever since I got to the station, so I hadn't had the time. That's just a convenient excuse, though. The truth was, I'd been so shocked by what I saw that I didn't feel like watching the video. Pathetic for a police officer. I'm sorry to say, I haven't seen the video yet. When I answered honestly, Minigishi didn't seem upset, he just nodded.
では、ここで見てみますか。
Minigishi opened a laptop computer and turned it toward me.
過剰な愛の押し付けは時に狂気となります。それが妄想による愛ならなおさらです。擁護と狂気で脅され、怯える女性がいても、警察は 事件が起きていないからと見て見ぬふり。多くの女性を恐怖に陥れた輩に、アドニスが裁きの鉄槌を下します。
What do you mean with sexy? It's fucking scary.
これはストーカー被害を訴えた上での犯行声明だと思われます。
昨日起きた銃殺事件は8月に関連している。発端となったネットゲームつながりでな。
Yeah, I don't know, Ren. Xenon has just a rare taste.
声明の内容から今回も過去の事件と関連性があると考えるのが妥当だ。
So you're saying that it's connected to the stalker incident back in July?
そう思わざるを得ないでしょうね。
The assailant in the July case was in detention. The woman who had been stalked by the victim, Rika Sugawara, was also suspected of being involved with Adonis and X Day at the time. Is it true that Rika Sugawara was a victim of stalking?
ええ、間違いありません。
What if she's not related to Adonis, but it's actually completely a victim? Wouldn't arresting her be causing her imaginary mental anguish?
菅原が本当にアドニスと無関係であればだが。
Oh, you didn't find any evidence connecting her to Adonis back then, right?
お前の言う通り、菅原が長年ストーカー被害を受けていた事実は変わらない。だからこそ、7月の事件当時、菅原の聴取はあまり深いところまで切り込めなかった。ストーカー被害を未然に防げなかったのは、警察の落ち度が大きいからだ。
Oh yeah, see you later maybe, Ren.
ただでさえ X デイ事件を解決に導けず、警察への風当たりが強い時期だったのもある。
She was a victim and not a strong suspect, so the police hadn't felt the need to push her too hard to the interviews. Okay, Xenon, sleep well. Well, I guess I go then and make quick break, like 1 minute. I need to go to toilet and get a drink. So, be right back. Thank you, Zilong. Sleep well. She was a victim and not a strong suspect, so the police hadn't felt the need to push her too hard in their interviews. And the assailant was in a jail anyway. Even if she was taken in for incitement to murder, it'd be a difficult case without evidence.
だが、今回ばかりはそうはいかない。菅原を容疑者から外す理由はない。
That ended the conversation for now, so I was dismissed and told to return to SRCPO. I still don't really know what they wanted with me. The perpetrator this time was connected to the X-Day incident. We were inching closer and closer to the countdown, hitting 0. I don't want to see something that awful again. I want to prevent all future incidents. If I was going to be successful at that, I knew that I had to learn a lot more about the past incidents. Immediately after I returned to my desk, Moshida came over with a worried look.
大丈夫だったか？いじめられなかったか？てか、お前何をやらかしたんだ？
I didn't do anything.
怒られたわけじゃないのか？
No, they just wanted to ask me about this morning.
だったらいいんだが。
He's such a warrior. But it made me truly happy to know that there was someone who genuinely cared for me right here. Morioka and Minigishi seem to suspect people within the police force. Even I'm practically a spy since I'm wearing this collar. It did seem like they already had their doubts about me as well. But there were already people among the criminals with prior history and evidence to connect them. The thought gave me goosebumps. One of them is nearby. What if the person who collared me is nearby?
おい星野、どうした？
お？
元気がないみたいだが、もし上に無理なことを言われたんだったら、俺に相談しろ。抗議してやる。
No, I'm really fine. Moshida's worried face shook me out of my dark thoughts. Once I start doubting people, I'd never end, so I should just do what I can for now. Moshida, I actually have a favor to ask.
なんだ？何でも言ってくれ。
If you have time today, there's somewhere I'd like you to go with me.
ん？
The stalker manslaughter incident had happened in July. The name of the deceased victim was Hiroto Shimizu. He had obviously been stalking a woman for a while. The woman who had been the target of his stalking was Rika Sugawara. At the time of incident, Shimizu had planned to commit a murder-suicide in public and rushed Sugawara with an edged weapon. A passerby pushed Sugawara out of the way to protect her and then stabbed Shimizu to death in a scuffle. The intervening passerby arrested at the scenes was Tomoki Ogata. He was currently in detention. On the surface, it appeared to be a simple case, and it wasn't even instantly classified as an X-Day crime at the time. Even when Adonis' coin was discovered while searching Shimizu's home, the police opinion on the case hadn't changed. However, Adonis then uploaded a video statement referencing the killing in the following months.
正当防衛なのに一時でも身柄を拘束される。理不尽だ。彼は一人の女性を救ったヒーローだというのに。女性は昔からストーカー被害を訴えていたにもかかわらず、警察、我々アドニスはこの悲しみを見過ごせず、被害者に代わり裁きを下しました。X デーへのカウントダウン6、そして今月はカウントダウン5、近々。
Due to this video, the homicide was now treated as part of the string of X-Day crimes. The assailant was arrested. This insisted upon his innocence and that he acted in self-defense, but the case's motive and larger scope were unknown. I'll ask Sakuragawa for more details on the case from back then.
ここが菅原理香の家だ。
Thank you.
しかしお前も偉いな。ストーカー被害者の精神状態を気にして様子を見に行きたいなんて。
That's the job of the local office to begin with.
そうなんだが。いや、感心するよ。
I hadn't lied to Moshida. Sugawara hadn't been able to rely on the police to protect her from her stalker. She had deep loyalty once. To top it off, she'd been suspected as a murderer and subject to vicious slander by the media. So the possibility of some of it being true hadn't been ruled out. If investigations headquarters suspects her, they come looking for her soon enough. It could just accelerate the damage that had already been done to her psyche. Whether or not Sugawara was related to X-Day, I was personally worried about her state of mind. Moshida, would you mind waiting here?
なあ、わかってる。何かあったらすぐに呼べよ。
Due to her circumstances, Sugawara might not respond well to men. Moshida stayed in the hallway, and I pushed the intercom in front of her door.
どなたですか?
I'm Officer Ishika Hoshino from the local office of Shinjuku Police Station. There was a silence.
あなた方に話せることはすべて話しました。お帰りください。
An icy voice came back over the speaker. Please, wait a moment. I'm not here because of the investigation. I just came to make sure you're safe. Have you noticed anything unusual lately?
安全確認？今さら？ 私が何を訴えても、被害妄想だ、自意識過剰だと言って、取り合ってくれなかったのはあなた方です。私を疑っているんでしょ？それでここに来たんでしょ？
I was at a loss as to how to respond to that. She appeared to still be deeply mistrustful of the police. The police had been sloppy in the handling of the stalker, but it seemed they had been equally bad in their treatment of the victim. All of us in the police are responsible for the way you feel now. I'm deeply sorry what happened to you. But we don't want to repeat the same mistake. It's true, some suspect you for yesterday's fire. Would you mind speaking to me to clear that up? Again, there was a silence. I nervously waited for Sugawara's reply.
あなた一人、男はいない？
My partner's here, but he'll wait outside. A short while after I said that, the door quietly opened.
はじめまして。菅原理香と申します。
In contrast to her fearful tone over the intercom, I was slightly surprised to see her so calm. I had thought that I might not be able to talk to her due to her mistrust and fear of the police. So this was a bit unexpected. I'm Ishika Hoshino from the SRCPO. I reintroduced myself and bowed. We apologize for still being unable to solve the case and for making you feel unsafe. On behalf of the police, I deeply apologize for the pain that was caused to you and our failure to prevent it. There's no excuse for the way you were treated.
ねえ、そういうのやめて。
It was an expressionless voice I looked up.
本当に今更ね。もう私の人生はとっくに壊れてしまった。壊されたの。
In contrast to her words, she smiled thinly, but her eyes were not laughing at all.
でも、私はやっと生まれ変われるの。これから新しい人生を生きられるのよ。だから邪魔しないで。
Reborn? I didn't understand, but she was acting neither scared or angry, and the way she spoke was a casual smile, told me that she clearly didn't want my help. Looks like I won't get through to her. Asking for her trust after all this time was probably impossible. When I said nothing at a loss, Sugawara's smile disappeared and her face grew more serious.
あなた、愛する人はいる？
Who? Confused by the non-sequitur, I tilted my head. You mean someone I like? She probably meant to ask if I had a love interest. I loved my parents and Kazuki. They were irreplaceable to me. But as for anyone else, I couldn't say that there was. No, not really. My eyes widened at her sudden laughter. She seemed to find that oddly hilarious. After laughing for a while, she sighed and gave me a look.
かわいそうに。まだ愛を知らないのね。私はいるわ。愛する人。最近出会って、それでやっと分かったの。誰かを殺したいと思うほど、
人を愛するってことをね。
Sugawara's joyous expression bordered on madness and sent a chill down my spine.
あの人が私を救ってくれたの。ただ泣いて逃げ惑うだけの日々をあの人が終わらせてくれたのよ。それまで私を殺して自分も死のうとした清水の気持ちなんて全然わからなかったけど、今ならわかるわ。あの人と一緒に死ねたら私だって最高に幸せだもの。
Her words made me flash back to a certain image. I love you so badly, I want to kill you. That was the phrase on the burning note. Sugawara's words matched it.
今では清水に感謝すらしているの。私に本物の愛の形を教えてくれたんだもの。
I was speechless and I looked away from Sugawara, who was now smiling ecstatically. I didn't understand what she was saying, but I could tell that her experience with the stalker had twisted her mind. She had been broken by having that extreme form of love forced on her, and now she had directed that twisted affection towards someone else. What should I say to her? I couldn't come up with anything to say, so I quietly smiled, as if to agree with her.
あなたが本物の愛を知っていたら、少しは話ができたかもしれないわね。事件のことを探っても無駄よ。どうせもうすぐ、すべてが再生される。
Who? Wait, what's that supposed to? My words were interrupted by the slamming of the door, and she didn't hear them. When we returned to police station, Mushida came to check on me with a worried look.
菅原理香に会いに行ってからずっと顔色が悪いが、どうした？何かあったのか？
Oh, nothing in particular, really. I think I'm just a little tired. I had only told him that she didn't trust the police. As for her beloved, I was still unsure if that was directly related to the case. I withheld that out of respect for her privacy.
少し休憩してきていいぞ。30分ぐらい寝てこい。
Oh, thank you, sir. I gratefully accepted Mushida's kindness. After parting ways with him, I headed for the forensic department. I was going to talk to Sakuragawa. As I walked, I thought about what Sugawara had said. It was as if she was basically admitting to being a X-Day perpetrator, the person she loves. Tomoki Ogata, the one arrested in July, had ended up saving Sugawara. If this had been deliberate, then it meant that Ogata wasn't simply a bystander. Which means, was Ogata the savior that Sugawara fell in love with? I have to look deeper into the events of July. I quickened my pace.
で、何が聞きたいわけ？私も暇じゃないんだから早くしてよね。
Despite her sarcastic tone, Sakuragawa rushed over to me. As soon as she saw me, she really was a good person. Have you learned anything new about the arson murder this morning? Have you figured out the victim's identity?
遺体の損傷が激しくてまだ判明してない。
She denied my inquiry bluntly, but I keep pushing. The entire department believes that this event is connected to July based on the video statement, right? In order to connect the cases, I need as much information on the July homicide as possible. Can you fill me in? Sakuragawa looked at me exasperatedly and then leaned in by checking our surroundings.
あんた捜査本部に目つけられてるよ。
I know, they already called me in one.
マジで？大丈夫なの？
I realized that I have to be more careful now. Sakuragawa looked increasingly amazed, but then she suddenly grinned.
まあ、そうでなきゃ私も困るし。
Sorry to ask so suddenly, but could I see the old file?
渡せるのは実況見分調書、証拠品リスト、検視結果ぐらいだけどいい？
Certainly. When I nodded, Sakuragawa brought me a stack of files from a shelf deeper in the room.
見るならここで見て。持ち出しは禁止だから。
Thank you. Alright, I have to give this a through read. Hopefully I can notice if anything's off. For a while, I engrossed myself in the file.
この事件、ちょっと不自然だよね。
I turned around in surprise at the voice.
こんにちは、いちかちゃん。
Hello, wait, why are you here?
新宿署に用があって寄ったら、ここに入ってく君が見えたから。追いかけてきちゃった。
Ended up here? He had mentioned that he had something to do here this morning. I heard that the SP were secretly coordinating with local jurisdiction. Maybe he was meeting with the security division. While I pondered that, Sakuragawa lightly clapped me on the shoulder.
あんた、SP とも知り合いなの？どういう関係？
What's that supposed to mean? I wonder if I can reveal that I know Yanagi and his team.
俺と彼女の関係か。ねえ、いちかちゃん。内緒にしておいた方がいい？
What? Why is he asking me?
恥ずかしいから知られたくないみたい。だから内緒の関係ってことで。ね。
Hey, Okazaki, don't say it like that.
ん？誤解かな？当たってるよね。
I'm pretty sure it isn't. I couldn't think of any way to accurately describe my relation to him. Watching me panic, Sakuragawa grinned.
あんたも隅に置けないっていうか、結局のとこ女だったんだね。
Like I said, we're specifically not like that. This is headed in the wrong direction.
で、資料読まないならしまうけど。
Wait. I grabbed the files as Sakuragawa started to leave with them.
それ、7月の事件の資料だよね。
Instead of berating me, Okazaki now looked curious.
俺も見ていい？
As an SP officer, Okazaki, like myself, wouldn't have authority to investigate the case. I looked to Sakuragawa for a response.
私知らない。
She returned to her own work. I think she was enjoying this. I suppose that reaction meant that he also had her permission to see them.
お許しも出たみたいだし、見ようよ。
I don't know. Visiting of uncertainty, I turned the page. The crime had occurred in Kabukishu. There was a lot of foot traffic at the time. According to witness statements,
女性の悲鳴が聞こえて一時あたりは騒然。ナイフを持った男が女性に一緒に死のうと言いながら襲いかかっていた。
Then Ogata, a passerby, jumped in and grabbed with Shimizu, recovered in disarray. It says, while they were grappling, Shimizu dropped the knife. Ogata picked it up and used it against Shimizu.
錯乱状態なら凶器を取り落としても不思議はないかな。でもうまくいきすぎてる感じはあるよね。
All accounts agree that a man attacked a woman, and the person that stepped in was also attacked, and used the knife to stab the initial assailant. The weapon was a 15-centimeter knife Shimizu owned. He was carrying it presumably to attack Sugawara.
指紋は被害者の清水と加害者の尾形のもののみか。菅原の指紋はなかったみたいだね。
Wouldn't that be obvious?
可能性として気になっただけ。もう少し調べてみようか。
Blood on the knife belonged to two people, Shimizu and Ogata, so Ogata was injured too.
暴れる清水を抑えようとしてたわけだからね。腕に防御痕あり。一つだけか。
Wouldn't there normally be more than that?
こういう状況だと一つは少ないかな。清水はめちゃくちゃにナイフを振り回してたみたいだし。
I wonder how Ogata managed to disarm Shimizu in his enraged state.
それは聞き込み情報に書いてあるよ。それから付着してた血液が2種類ってことは、菅原はナイフで傷つけられなかったんだね。
She did well to avoid it. That means Ogata completely defended her when she was just inches from getting hurt. The deceased Shimizu was age 29, unemployed. He was suspected of stalking the same woman previously. And Rika Sugawara is age 25, an office worker in Shinjuku. Shimizu had reportedly been stalking her for a few years. There are police records of her reporting the stalking multiple times.
ストーカー規制法もできて、昔よりは警察も話を聞くようになったけど、やっぱり実害が出ないと動けないのもあるだろうね。
This could all have been preventive if they just did.
そういう事例はたくさんあるよ。通報には優先順位がつけられるから、ある程度は仕方ないんじゃないかな。
The cause of death was blood loss resulting from a knife wound to the
傷は一箇所のみで心臓を深く一突き、ほぼ即死みたいだね。
He didn't even have time to say anything. I probably looked an instant kill to anyone in the area.
それが引っかかるんだよね。
Who?
もう少し調べてみようか。これ見て。周囲の証言でちょっと変わったのがある。
The passerby Ogata twisted Shimizu's wrist. What if this is how he got Shimizu to drop the knife?
全部が信憑性のあるものとは限らないけどね。尾形が女性をかばうように割って入った時、何か喋ってたって書かれてる。
There's no record of what he said. We won't get anything else out of this.
「現場には例のコインもローマ数字もなかったんだよね。
Yes, that's why no one thought to connect to X Day at first. But
後日被害者の自宅からコインとローマ数字の6が発見された。
some within the police believed that Adonis took advantage of the situation and claimed responsibility for it.
例えば本当に X デー事件とは何の関係もないと仮定した場合、事件が起こった後にアドニスが急いで被害者宅を特定して警察が来る前にコインと数字を残していったことになるよね。ただの事故を計画性のあるものだと見せかけるためにはそれしかないし。
But that's not very realistic, is it?
アドニスは4月からずっと自分たちの意思で事件を起こしてる。わざわざ計画にない事件を利用する必要はないはずだから。
So that means that they would have had to have planned every part of this out from the very beginning.
Hmm? 地面が気になるの？
I feel like we might overlook something. There weren't any lost belongings at the scene.
清水がつけてた腕時計と犯行に使われたナイフくらいかな。
Wait, what's this garbage-looking thing in the photo?
それはただのゴミだね。
What?
いちかちゃん、 これは現場保存のための写真であって、当時は鑑識が隅まで調べたと思うよ。
You're right. Sorry, I was just spinning my wheel.
焦らない焦らない。大事なのは間違い探しじゃなくて、当時の情報を整理することだよ。
Okay. Maybe I should stop here and examine some other angle. There's an addendum too. The autopsy also turned up some drugs in the victim's system.
襲われた女性、菅原梨香の証言だと、一緒に死のうって襲われたみたいだから、心神喪失の状態に近いね。
When he attacked, Ogata Wasabi jumped into the fray. Bystander witnessed the melee.
何か言ったのかな？
Who? Are you suggesting that Ogata said something to further provoke Shimizu?
もともと正常な状態じゃなかったとはいえ、尾形が間に入ってさらに暴れたみたいだし、まあ邪魔されたと思い込んだなら当たり前の反応かもしれないけど。
Maybe Ogata being there made things worse when Shimizu was already under the influence, and that pushed him over the edge.
だとすると、やっぱり不自然だな。
The passerby at the assailant, Tomoki Ogata, is age 34 and an office worker in Shinjuku. He's changed jobs twice in the last 2 years.
5月の警察官拉致殺害事件で容疑者に上がったからだろうね。
He was taken in on mistaken arrest by the deceased officer. I was suspected of acting in revenge.
すごい経歴の持ち主だよね。
Yeah, I just want to know how I end up. That's why. Why are you still awake so long? Cool.
2年前、駅のホームでの喧嘩を仲裁しようとして、喧嘩してた片方の男性が線路に転落し、それで嫌疑をかけられて5人逮捕された。今年5月にはその5人逮捕した警察官が死亡。復讐のためにやったんじゃないかって疑われて再び容疑者にされた。アリバイはあったけど。
Ah, nice.
それで今年7月、ストーカー犯罪から女性を守ろうとして防衛のために誤って男性を刺殺してしまう。
Yeah, actually, I'm curious what's happening. Right, heroic of him. That connects him to 3 deaths. He's been under suspicion before, which caused him to repeatedly change jobs. Yet he jumped in to stop an attacker once again.
ものすごく正義感が強い人なのかな。
Sleep well. Good night. But it says that he has no prior association with Shimizu or Sugawara.
いっそ面識あった方が自然だったのに。 だって見ず知らずの人のためにここまでのことなかなかできないよ。
When we finished looking through the files, Okazaki muttered something.
やっぱり変だね。
Yeah. As we looked through the files, several problems had arisen. If this really was an X-Day kid, then there had to be a clear reason to kill Shimizu. Assuming that was true, then the scenario wasn't an accident and was full of holes. Sugawara was completely unscattered by the attack. The assailant, Ogata, was a passerby. Ogata disarmed Shimizu, and Shimizu was on drugs. There was a nagging feeling that the entire incident had been set up. Okazaki, the part you think is strange is that Shimizu was intoxicated. There was an awkward silence as we looked at each other in surprise. Did I get it wrong?
君はどうしてそれが不自然だと思うの？
Well, I was surprised that Ogata was very injured when Shimizu was high and swinging the weapon wildly. It seemed confident, like it went too smoothly for him. So I was wondering if Shimizu was really under the influence.
なるほどね。いろいろとうまくいきすぎてるところは俺も不自然だと思ったよ。でも自殺じゃないから重要なのは被害者がどういう状況だったかじゃないんだよね。周囲の証言や薬物反応が出てる点からも清水が正常な状態じゃなかったのは確かだし。
So you mean that we should be looking for something off about the assailant?
そう。だってこれが計画的な犯行ならこの状況を作り出したのは加害者側だから。
Okazaki was right. It made more sense to think of Shimizumi's altered state as something that was mean to make the assault go more smoothly.
資料の中で俺が不自然だと思ったのは尾形が心臓を一突きした部分だよ。
The feeling of anxiety I had about the file came to mind as Okazaki reminded me of it.
じゃあまずは加害者の尾形が主張してる正当防衛についてちょっとまとめてみよう。正当防衛っていうのは窮迫している状態で防衛した時に相手を誤って害してしまったことを指すよね。
Yes, the question of whether it was justified or unjustified is key to deciding whether this was murder. Okazaki nodded and continued.
この事件がストーカー被害の女性菅原による殺人なら理解できることが多いんだ。日頃の恨みが溜まっていただろうしそれじゃなくても恐怖の対象に襲われたら必死に自衛しようとするのが当たり前だしね。予期してない襲撃に対する防衛じゃなくて予期していたことに対する抵抗で過剰になるのは納得できる。
She wasn't attacked by someone she didn't know, but rather someone she had prior experience with, someone who'd made death threats against her. She knew the danger she was in, so she might have been mentally ready to kill her attacker. I can't understand how that feels.
でもストーカー男の清水を殺したのは通りすがりの一般人だったでしょ。しかも逆上する清水からナイフを奪った上に心臓を一突きしてて目立った外傷はなし。
But Ogata had a defense wound on his arm from the knife, right? Seems like the self-defense claims focus on that point.
でもその傷、俺から見るとわざと切られたように見えるんだ。
On purpose?
だって腕に浅い傷が一つだけだよ。状況からしてずいぶん運がいいなって思わない？
Shimizu was high and widely laying the knife around. On top of that, Ogata was also shielding Sugawara. But he got away with only a mini flesh wound. Perhaps Ogata is a composed fighter and used to wielding edged weapons.
そう、心臓を一つ切って簡単に言うけど、実際は結構難しいものなんだよ。
I had learned that at the police academy too, it was hard to target the heart, slightly left of center mass, and also protected by the ribcage.
ただの通行人にしては、あまりにもやり方がスマートで、ためらいがなさすぎるよね。あ、突発的な戦闘に慣れてる人間が、たまたま通りすがったっていう可能性もなくはないけど。
Ogata's just a normal office worker, and it doesn't seem like he's trained in material arts. In that case, it's actually suspicious that Ogata is totally uninclined with Shimizu or Sugawara.
相手に明確な殺意を抱いてないなら、反撃にしても躊躇するのが普通だと思う。相当な自信がない限り自分の身も危険になるわけだしね。
Hearing the qualified SP officer's opinion, I immediately agreed. Looking at the entire scenario, there were just too many things that didn't add up. I see it now. Ogata's history is too suspicious. He was mistakenly arrested 2 years ago. He was a police murder suspect in May. And then, he had just happened to kill a man in defense of a woman being attacked on the street.
そうだね。事故じゃなくて計画的な犯行って意味で視点を変えると、尾形の存在が浮いてるんだ。会いに行ってみる？尾形智樹は拘置所にいるんだよね。面会はできるんじゃないかな。
It had been right under my nose. If I were to speak to Ogata in person, I'd be able to clear up many of my suspicions. But there was something nagging at me.
その詩編の内容から考えると、やはり菅原理香が怪しいですね。
The investigators suspect Sugawara. If the burn victim this morning turned out to be her associate, it would only be a matter of time before she was brought in for questioning. I want to talk to her before that. If she had a hand in this because she feels trapped by her stalker, I had to put a stop to it. If she had nothing to do with it, then I needed to rule out my suspicions. Either way, I was worried.
俺は尾形に会ってみたいな。
You want to go to?
ちょっと興味が出てきちゃったから。
Okazaki, you wouldn't also happen to be investigating X Day, would you?
それはないよ。他の事件のことは全く知らないし。ただ7月の事件だけは前からちょっと気になってたんだよね。
Speaking of which,
あとは過剰防衛かどうかだけど、守るためにやったことなのに罪に問われるのは少しかわいそうだな。それに彼がストーカーに襲われてた女性を守ったのも事実でしょ。守るために必要な犠牲もあるよ。
he had something smiler before. Maybe as an SP, he's interested in whether it really was done to protect someone.
君はどうする？一緒に行く？
I'm going to see Ogata too. Want to go together? My suspicions of Ogata had only intensified after reviewing the information with Okazaki. What kind of person was he? Was he connected to Adonis? If I was going to uncover the truth of X Day, I had to talk to him first. After that, I go to Sugawara.
じゃあ行こう。少しでも新情報が出てくるといいね。
Okazaki plainly smiled in that manner of his that never let on what he was thinking. I lied and told Moshida I had a personal affair that I couldn't miss and left work early. I hate to do this when there are so many calls. I insisted that he call me immediately if there was emergency call.
ねえ、連絡先教えてくれる？
Sitting next to me, the first thing that Okazaki said once the taxi started moving instantly set my heart on edge.
あれ？
It's not that, but now that I thought about it, it had been a few days since we met, and we hadn't exchanged contact info yet. Events had turned out the way they had, but it was still a problem if I got too close to him.
変なことに使ったりしないよ。もし危険があったり助けが必要な時は俺を呼んでほしいなって。
I still so panicked that I just blurted out whatever gibberish came to mind when he continued. Are you saying that you protect me?
君は職務外って分かってて X デー事件を捜査してるんだよね。理由は深く聞かないけど、警察官としてみんなの安全を守るために頑張ろうとしてるんだろうなってわかる。でもそれってすごく危ないと思うんだ。柳さんたちがいるとは言っても警察内部に協力者はいないだろうし。俺はね、捜査とかは向いてないけど、いざという時に守ることはできるから。
Okazaki. His supposed motives and gentle tone warmed my heart.
だから君を守らせて。危ない目にあったら俺を頼ってね。
He grinned, and I also smiled and nodded in response. Thank you. I'm happy to hear it. He had his own mission, but I was glad that Okazaki was worried about me. I was glad that a fellow police officer had affirmed what I was trying to do. I thought I had to pursue this on my own, but I've always been uneasy about it. I was just a burden to Yanagi's team. Even while I struggled to contribute, I was painfully aware of my own uselessness.
今君がしなくちゃいけないことがある。君にしかできないことがあるんだよ。
While I was confused in front of the fire this morning, he had told me that. I realized that I had only realized my purpose in that moment because Okazaki had been there for me. He's helped me so much in such a short time. While I had people I was cooperating with, I hadn't met anyone I could consider an ally. But now that Okazaki was talking this way, I really wanted to have him as an ally.
はい、じゃあメアドと番号交換ね。
Okay. I added Kei Okazaki to my phone's list of contacts. How reassuring. We hadn't known each other long and we still didn't know much about each other. Hello Kizuki, how are you? But just today alone, he had already helped me many times. Oh well, I'm also fine. I just wanted to know how my first way ends, to be honest. So I'm just curious, that's why I'm still awake. But I don't know how long it still is, so yeah. Moreover, he said I could keep relying on him. It was shattering in a way I couldn't describe. Oh right, don't you have to protect Yanagi's team today?
うん。今は吉成君に任せてあるから平気。そもそも彼らは一般の人たちと違って四六時中守らなきゃいけないほど弱くないから。
That's true. The fact that he understood this seemed to be an implicit acknowledgement that his protection assignment was just for pretenses. So they suspect Yanagi's team after all. Yuzuka, why are you still awake? What the fuck? Shouldn't you be in bed? Oh damn PP. It's not a gacha game, it's an otome game. Another gacha game. Hell no. Only if the boys are very hot, then maybe. Me? No. No. I mean, you can see I'm still awake. So, they suspect Yanagi's team after all. If that was true, then it would be natural that he suspected by association. No, I shouldn't. What are you talking about? I'm a ghost fox and I can stay awake how long I want to, you know. Our exchanging of numbers and his offer of protection could just be a part of his surveillance. Wait, why do you hate Ayaka? Didn't you get her or didn't you want her? Which is it? This weighs heavily on me. Okazaki's smile and his words, his voice that had encouraged me this morning. I don't want to doubt him. She isn't coming home. You need to try harder, Yuzuko, then. I pray for you. I didn't want to think that it was all lies. Even if I was under suspicion, I didn't want to just deny everything he'd done for me. Just as my spirits began to deflate, my phone vibrated in my hand. Who? You mean the credit card? I mean, if you really, really want her, it depends. How far are you from pity? Because it had jarred me out of a taxiing train of thought, I yelped in surprise. The sender of the message was none other than Okazaki, who was literally right next to me. Wow. Yuzuki, why are you spamming? Oh my god, now my bot. Oh my god, no, my bot. I'm sorry. I want to see you, love. Stay strong. Oh, that's so cute from him. I looked up with a blank expression on my face. Okazaki was grinning. I must have made him work. Maybe him texting, as opposed to saying it directly, was his way of showing that he cared. What is this emote, Yuzuka? Holy moly. Oh my god. Well, it's about a mystery and criminals and husbandos, you know? That's all you need to know. And I made today my first playthrough in this game, and I ended up with the white hair guy, but I mean, I don't know how it ends now with him. I will see. Could be bad, could be good. Don't worry. Those emotes, man. What is happening here? Oh, let me focus again on the text. The thought made me feel warm inside, so I typed out a heartfelt reply. He replied immediately. I don't know why this message just fits to the chat now. You're welcome. What even is this smile? A hugging smile, right? It looks like a hugging smile. I couldn't stifle a giggle. It seemed unlike Okazaki to use an emoji in a message. Afterward, we continued texting while we were right beside other. I'm hungry. What should I have for dinner? Are you eating at home? My brother likes hamburger. I prepared the base yesterday and it's sitting in the refrigerator. Sounds good. I get hamburger too. Will you cook it yourself? I can't fake this. I'll find a place. His face. Holy moly. Sleep well, Kyukazuki. Oh my god. Have a good sleep. Don't let the bed bugs bite. Oh god. It was an odd feeling, texting, while we were right next to each other. I must say, it was a lot of fun. The frivolous moments were enough to make me forget about all of the day's stress. Would you cook it for me one day? When I looked up, Okazaki was waiting for me with an expectant expression. Maybe if there's time. Hey, looking forward to it. I didn't say I would, so. While exchanging carefree messages, our eyes met and we smiled. This is so relaxing. I felt better when I was with Okazaki. I also realized that I could smile naturally. The moments lazily passed and I embraced their comfort. Yuzuki is starting with the smiles now also. Finally, the approval to perform an interview came down. Ogata was pale. Before we could introduce ourselves, he leaned in and started speaking.
私は無実だ。あれは正当防衛だったんです。目撃者だってそう証言してくれているのに、どうしてこんなに裁判が長引くんですか？ あなたたちだって理解しているはずです。これが正当防衛と認められなければ、警察は再び大きな過ちを犯すことになる。
Thank you. He must have been referring to his mistaken arrest in the past. In May, Ogata was marked as a suspect because the police had thought that he was acting out of revenge for his prior mistaken arrest. Then, he was at the center of an incident in July, and now he was here in jail.
落ち着いてください。今日はあなたに質問があってきたんです。
Okazaki spoke to Ogata in a calm tone.
正当防衛とのことですが、当時的確に心臓を一突きしていますね。そういった訓練を受けたことがあるんですか？
何わけのわからないことを。あれはたまたまです。奴が振り回したナイフを奪った時に偶然心臓に刺さってしまったんです。
Oh well, I don't think the right one looks cute, but maybe for you. Ogata boldly spat out a retort by glaring at Okazaki. But it was easy to pick up the quivering in his voice. It's possible.
偶然あの場に居合わせて、偶然清水が取り落としたナイフを奪い、偶然相手の心臓を突き刺したんですね。
何が言いたい？
Ogata was clearly irritated by Okazakis unflinching calm.
あなた方も私が計画的にあの男を殺したと言いたいのか。では私がストーカー男を挑発して逆上させ正当防衛に見せかけて殺そうという計画のもと犯行を起こしたと仮定するのだ。私と清水の関係性は、動機は X デー事件に関与しているという確たる根拠はどこにある。
Seeing that we didn't have any answers, Ogata smiled triumphantly.
ほら、何もない。なのに警察は私を女性を救った英雄どころか罪人扱いだ。今月の事件もそうだったな。私を誤認逮捕した警察官が殺されたからと当然のように私を容疑者扱いした。ご存知の通り私には鉄壁のアリバイがある。その時期は海外旅行に行っていたからな。
そうですね。あなたに犯行は不可能です。
開き直るか。それでこそ薄汚い警察らしい。お前たち警察のずさんな捜査で何人の被害者が出たと思っているんだ。被害者の人権を踏み潰し、自白を強要し、検挙率を上げることだけを考えている警察が真実にたどり着けるわけがない。私が勾留中もずっと X デー事件は起こり続けているじゃないか。せめてそっちを解決したらどうなんだ。
I had no retort for that. The truth was that the X-Day crimes were ongoing and the body count continued to pile up. Even while I'm here now, somebody could be. When I gripped my knees in frustration, Okazaki put his hand on mine. When I looked up, Okazaki was staring straight at Ogata. It felt like the warmth of Okazaki's hand was calming me down.
だが、私を疑うのは当然だな。
Suddenly, Ogata leaned back in his chair, adopting a confident smile.
私はアドニスに感謝している。なぜなら、汚染された警察の実態を明るみにしてくれたからだ。私はアドニスの考えに賛同する。アドニスを正義と捉えている。
His smile disappeared and he folded his hand.
私は何でもない日常を生きていた。家族がいて、仕事があって、帰る場所がある。そんな普通の幸せな日常。だがある日、私にとっての普通は全て崩れ去った。
A deep, stern, hollow voice emanated from Ogata's lips.
2年前のあの時もいつもと変わりない日のはずだった。私は通勤中、良かれと思って揉め事の仲裁に入っただけだ。何もしていない。私はただ日常を生きていただけだ。
Ogata regained some of his composure and looked into our eyes.
今年の5月もそうだ。何もしていないのに当然のように犯人扱いされた。7月も女性を助けようとしただけなのに防衛を攻撃だと決めつけられた。お 前たちは決して学習しない。何度繰り返しても自分たちが黒と決めたものを黒に塗り替える。
Ogata's words cut straight to my heart. Truthfully, I couldn't deny that there were problems in the police force.
想像できるか。一瞬で日常のすべてを奪われる苦しみが。信頼も名誉も愛も希望もすべてだ。周囲の私を見る目は汚物を見るものに変わった。妻と子供は犯罪者の烙印を押された私から逃げた。長年勤めていた会社からは腫れ物扱いされ、自主退社に追い込まれ、社会的に抹消された。私が生きていた証をすべて消されたんだ。
I couldn't say anything. I was touched by Ogata's tragedy, and I didn't think it could all be lies. Despite his constant brushes with the X-Day crimes, the first mistaken arrest must have. I was sure that he just wanted to live a peaceful life at some point.
他にも大勢いるはずだ。警察に人生を壊され、憎悪を燃やし、アドニスを正義と考える人間。私は決して有罪にはならない。私の行動が正義だったと世間が認める日が必ず来る。
With that, Ogata shut his mouth. We wouldn't get any more out of him. Okazaki also made to leave the room, but then
俺にはあなたの気持ちを理解してあげることはできない。
he murmured.
ただ最後に一つ聞かせてくれる？
He looked at Ogata with lonely eyes.
揉め事を仲裁するためだったのに誤認逮捕で辛い経験をした。なのにあなたはまた同じことをした。危険が迫った女性を助けるためとはいえ揉め事に割って入ったのはどうして？
Ogata answered Okazaki's question with wordless silence.
正義のためだ。
Then he uttered the short phrase in an expressionless voice. Ogata had nothing to say after that. We left the detention center on the way back. Okazaki mumbled.
新しい情報は引き出せなかったね。
Yeah, but it's a chance to get our bearings. Ogata had approved of Adonis because he believed the police had committed wrongs. Then surely Sugawara also bore the same animosity for the police. She was likely to sympathize with Adonis too. So it really wasn't merely a coincidence that Ogata stepped in that time. Somehow he made it happen deliberately.
あまりにも偶然が多すぎる。計画性があったものとして考えるべきだよ。
That means in this incident. If it was planned killing, then neither of them could be overlooked. What if What if Sugawara asked Ogata to commit the murder?
俺もその可能性を考えてた。彼女なしじゃこの計画は成立しないよね。
To provoke Shimizu, Sugawara just had to lead him to the sense of the crime. Ogata didn't know him, so he couldn't provoke him. Plenty of witnesses saw Shimizu chasing Sugawara that day. Ogata was implicated in previous incidents, so the risk of him killing someone would be too high.
いくら正当防衛を主張できても状況次第では厳罰が与えられるし、殺人どころか揉め事の仲裁すら本来だったら避けて通りたいはずだよ。
Which means what if, in the heat of the moment, Ogata just decided to go that far?
見返りっていうと
One of the officers killed in May mistakenly arrested Ogata in the past. It completely ruined his life. According to his own words, it was reasonable for someone his shoes to consider revenge, right? So shouldn't we consider Ogata the true culprit in May?
待って、さすがにそれは無理だよ。だって彼にはアリバイがあったんだよ。
Yes, that's right. Maybe the alibi was fake.
彼のアリバイは海外旅行だよ。渡航記録も残ってるのに、そこを捏造するのは無理があるよ。
Right. He was out of the country.
こういう可能性はどうかな。彼の復讐を達成させるために5月の事件は別の誰かが実行する。で、その見返りとして尾形には別の誰かを殺させるんだ。
Substitute murder?
それならいろんな違和感も説明がつく。
In contrast with the vindictive look on Okazakis face, my own thoughts were hazy. If there were substitute murder, the motive for the July murder would be revenge for Sugawara. And if Ogata and Sugawara were somehow connected, then Sugawara could have committed a crime on someone else's behalf.
もし X デー事件全体が交換殺人だとしたら、他の月はどうなるんだろう。
They were crimes carried about by Adonis. That means there could have been different agents committing the murders each month. Every suspect in the X-Day crimes thus far had unnaturally perfect alibis. It was likely that each crime had been committed by a proxy who wouldn't have any direct motive. But the scale is just too massive. Even if we chase down the lead for one crime, it would be very difficult to nail down proof. This is just... I'm getting a headache. My brain was fried from information overload. A hand landed gently on my head, followed by a sigh.
さすがにこれ以上は捜査本部に任せないと。俺たちだけで謎を解くには規模が大きいよ。
As he patted me on the head, my anxiety slowly faded.
君の本来の役割は何だっけ？
To protect the safety of Shinjuku's residents.
そうだったよね。ちゃんと覚えてて。いい子いい子。
With a satisfied smile, Okazaki removed his hand from my head. The warmth vanished too, leaving me feeling slightly alone. Thank you, Okazaki.
俺は何もしてないよ。
He always found a way to bring me back to reality, just like he did when I had panicked at the sense of the fire. He considered the things that were important to me, as if they were important to him too. All he does is help me. If I felt guilty about it, but it also filled me with renewed resolve. Yes, my true duty as a police officer was to ensure the safety of the public and to listen to what was in their hearts. I didn't intend to ignore the collar and the X-Day investigation, but this was a goal that I couldn't push to the background. Sugawara. If the X-Day crimes were planned substitute murders, then she had to be involved. But this all had spawned from police arrogance. I couldn't ignore that inconvenient truth. The police should have protected her from Shimizu. If they had, she never would have fallen this far. I'm going to see Rika Sugawara once more.
どうして？
Okazaki's reaction made it clear that he didn't agree with this course of action. The chance that she's involved with this crime is rather high. I think I can persuade her before the detectives catch up to her. We were running out of time. If she confessed, her sentence would be lighter. There was still a chance. If there was no evidence she'd acted on her own, she could have been threatened by Adonis. When I brought it up to Okazaki, he thought silently for a moment.
それは警察官としてやっちゃいけないことだよね。
When I looked up, Okazaki wasn't smiling. He was looking at me coolly.
捜査権限のない人間が容疑者に接触して事前に捜査内容を漏洩することになる。証拠隠滅や逃走の幇助って形になるよ。こっそり事件のことを調べるじゃ済まない。バレれば良くてクビ、悪くて今度は君が罪に問われることになる。
But if I can just convince her to confess and turn herself in.
君は菅原梨香が事件に関与したそもそもの原因は警察にあるって思ってるんだよね。
Yes.
気持ちはわかるよ。警察の対処が甘かった事実が心苦しいのもね。でもじゃあ警察が悪かったですって謝ればどうにかなる問題じゃないでしょ。情状酌量の余地があったとしてもそれを判断するのは俺たち警察じゃない。
I know that, but
警察にも不祥事はたくさんあるよ。誤認逮捕に冤罪、捜査ミスに収賄。もっと小さな問題なら数えきれないほど。もちろん減らす努力はすべきだけど、その全てに心を砕いてたら警察官としては生きていけない。警察は守るための組織だよ。 何かを守るために犠牲は出る。全部守るなんてこと絶対にできない。全部選ぼうなんてことしたら逆に救えるはずだった人たちを救うことができなくなるんだ。人には役割がある。守ると決めたならそのために譲っちゃいけないものがあるはずだよ。
I couldn't think of a reply to Ozaki's coolly made point. What he was saying was logically. It was correct. It was the correct mindset for a police officer. My thinking was naive, irrational. Okazaki is saying this for my sake. I understood that well enough. I didn't think that he was being cold. But what was this? I feel detached. The idea that small sacrifice had to be made. Hesitation towards one's on duty. Killing one's ego to be part of a larger purpose. I was moved by his unwavering conviction. I also felt a distance open up between us. My voice got caught in my dry throat, but I had to say what I was thinking. If the police ever hurt me or anyone close to me, I don't know what I do. Okazaki was silent for a while. He seemed to be sizing me up. I was afraid that I disappointed him.
普通はそうだよね。簡単には割り切れない。
But Okazaki returned to his usual smile.
君は優しくてまっすぐな子だから。誰かの傷を自分のことのように考えられるのも本当は悪いことじゃないって思うよ。
Okazaki.
でもいちかちゃん、君の本来の役割を忘れないで。自分の願いを叶えるためには何かを切り捨てなきゃいけない時がきっと来るはずだから。
Yeah. He really had said those things solely out of concern for me. Knowing that, I couldn't simply reject his words, but I also couldn't accept them right now. Okazaki, you're strong. The words leaked out as I thought how weak I was. Okazaki's eyes went wide in surprise.
俺は強くないよ。弱いからたくさん背負えないだけ。
Then he mumbled something sadly. I recalled a conversation we'd had before.
俺が守るべきものはね、特別で大切でとても重くてかけがえのないもの。
He became heartless for that which he protected. He had that determination. What about me? I imagined a pain coming from my neck. The color under my scarf weighted on my mind. I wanted it gone. I wanted to solve the cases. I wanted to protect people from harm as a cop. They were all my goals. I hadn't prioritized any over the others. But that come a time when I had to choose. Could I really make that choice?
もうこんな時間。暗いし、家まで送ってくよ。
Thank you. The usual smile and the usual words. It was like nothing had changed. I thought I'd gotten closer to his heart, and then I felt that it had moved even further away. The next day, I decided I go to Rika Sugawara's residence under the guise of a patrol again, but Mushida was next to me. And so was Okazaki for some reason. Mushida approached me with a confused expression. I'm not sure myself.
はじめまして。俺は警視庁警護課の岡崎圭です。
Ozaki grinned as usual, not seeming to read the situation.
その警視庁の警護課って SP ですよね。そんな方
well
いろいろありまして。
いろいろっていうのはどういう？
いろいろ。
Oh my god. He's pressuring Mushida.
それより持田さんには、いちかちゃんが日頃からお世話になってるみたいで、ありがとうございます。
は？
Well, you see, what kind of greeting was that? Is he acting like a relative or something? I definitely known Mushida much longer than Okazaki. I didn't know if Okazaki was doing this on purpose, but it was confusing.
いや、こちらこそお世話に。っていうか、星野とはどういうご関係で？
関係。
I have a bad feeling about this. We're just acquaintances.
会って数日だけど、一気に距離が縮まった感じかな。ね。
Oh, Kazaki, don't put it like that.
一気になる
ほど。とても仲良くさせてもらってます。
そうですか。それはめでたいというか、なんというか。
This is just like earlier with Sakuragawa. He's completely misunderstanding.
今日の巡回は俺も同行させてもらいます。よろしくお願いします。
はい？星野、どういうことだ
？All I can do is mislead him by laughing. It all started earlier this morning.
焼死体の被害者の身元が判明しました。比嘉敦36歳、前科あり、多数の女性に対しストーカー行為を繰り返し、準強姦罪での逮捕歴があります。
Well, I guess I will make my break. I mean, I go to bed now probably. Holy moly, 3 hours 30 again. What the fuck? But to be going forward. Slowly but surely. Anyway guys, I wish you a great night and see you on probably Friday. Maybe earlier. I will see. Because next day I'm busy a bit. See ya. Thank you for joining and good night.